Hello folks and welcome to Erannorth Chronicles. Today we'll be playing in a new mode called Apocalypse. A mode where you have 30 days to complete it and it's pretty hardcore. If you haven't played Scorched Earth, if you haven't played campaign, if you haven't completed them, then don't try to play in this mode. It combines the worst aspects of these two modes and take them a step even farther, making things even more challenging and even more difficult. So let's see. For starters, this apocalypse world won't scale up each time you start a new session, so the levels of the areas will remain the same because you actually won't have a long time to complete it, just 30 in-game days. All the settlements will deny you entry, settlements will sell you normal cards up to expertise 2. At end of turn, randomly discard down to 7, dot effects persist, ally stats are much lower than they are in every other mode. So they are capped at 80 power and 120 health. Enemies are more resistant to debuffs, and we will see in a bit how more. Envy, loyalty and concealment are also capped. Deployed allies have upkeep and you must complete the exploration. You can't retreat. On the bright side, you will be fighting less enemies. The normal encounters have 3 and the elite 4. And that's because your spells will be much more unreliable. Also you will be having much less action points per turn as the bonus to them is disabled. Let's dive in and see things in action. So I have picked here my character. I'm playing with a Vortex, Shadow Elf, Aristocrat, Courtier, Noble with Aristocrat's gear 2, and we will call here Faith. Faith has bonus in Nobility, Seduction, Subterfuge, an intellect of 14, willpower of 10, and agility of 16. And let's play. So we are in Lucina right now. You will notice that every area here is unique. We can do it only once, and after we do it, it will disappear, won't be available again. So we have a limited amount of resources around the world to allow us complete either Deimos Chasm, the final gate, before this doom clock goes down to 0, or if you feel brave, the Erannorth Passage to Netherworld campaign endgame quest. Okay, so first things first, let's go to our character sheet. This is how things look here. We don't have any perk points. We won't be getting them from leveling up. We can only get them from completing challenges. We have our silver dagger and comb knife equipped, and we have this starting deck right here, where I will go and do some minor changes. Champion is good for later on, but might be too much to pay early on. So is treasury, so I will cut this a bit. Increase personal guard, and also trickery will be quite interesting, so let's add a trickery too. Let's go and do the Oakwood East. So I told you that enemies are resistance because you have now this Apocalypse perk. which actually, instead of giving you benefits, it sabotages you and increases the resistance in all these effects by as much as you see in the screen. So vulnerable, everyone is resistant to vulnerable by 15%, bleed 15, bewitch 45, and so on. So if you were afraid of resistances, now it's the time to deal with them and learn how to overcome them with fracture, with perks, and with many other things that you can do to get around them and have a more overall successful run. Okay, so Court Affair. Whenever you apply vulnerable this turn, strain -1 and restore to action points will start with this. And now we'll go and apply vulnerable. We'll keep applying vulnerable. Let's switch to personal guard or play also Fascinate. Fascinate has 45% chance, the enemy have 45% chance to resist this bewitch instead of the normal 25 and 19 to resist vulnerable. That's because there is a 15 and he already have some vulnerable stacked on him. This one has 25 for instance. Okay, so we'll bewitch this guy, or at least try that. We will play Undermine on this one. We still haven't spent action points, but we are running off concentration. Let's use our guard. We will take the guard down. He will attack. He will attack to this guy. And because he's an agent and attacked, he also gives us synergy and weakened this enemy. So this enemy will now shield. And now will die from his negative status. Pass. Court Affair, Glancing Strike, Bewitched. Let's use Champion here. Our Vanquish effect is that our allies get stronger, but I will just pass. So now I will taunt him. Even if he would survive, the retribution would then kill him. But he died, so. Feybane Spear, Alchemist's Bomb, Holy Water.
This is terrible.
Resist it. We can now control this one and turn him into an agent. So now he will die from negative status. Single combat is not a problem, will flank us, but also come at odds with one of our allies. So basically nothing to worry about. If there was another enemy here, then sure, that would be a problem. We have 2 agents, so let's have them attack, and each one of them attacking will give us farthings because of the agent morale ability we have. Let him attack. Let's use our greed and gluttony after give him some extra vulnerable. Greed, gluttony. Lead astray. Stas. Let's look for drugs. Following them, we will be finding bandits. And can we fight with the bandits? The answer is not really. We don't have enough action points. Skulk, blending. Inevitable, vulnerable. So this one is incapacitated. We are increasing our slashing damage. Unfortunately, our weapons are piercing. Great gluttony. Single combat will hit us pretty hard, since we don't have an ally. Almost took us down. Let's use our phoenix feathers and our house figurine.
Hey, you! Stop!
We have 2 attacks and 1 shield. Let's hit him with our champion. Give him some extra venom. Okay, so far we are doing okay. We have survived. Let's see if we can continue surviving.
Ready to serve.
Single combat, it's no longer much of a threat. We still have 2 attacks to deal with though. Okay, so we'll have a defensive stance, then stack, an attack, and a single combat. That's pretty bad. We get some retribution before its enemy acts. We are now at 12. Let's destroy this one. Control this one. Kill this one. So we have Mark, Gentleman Thief, Seduce. We'll get Seduce to my deck. And a Gentleman Thief in my stash. So now that we completed the first area, we can't do it again. It's gone. We have to do the Magnus Cove, which it's a higher level area. Lucina is locked. We can't heal ourselves. We can set a camp and rest, but we are well rested, so you can either skip time or hunt to
Level up.
some activities. Hunt also gives us a level up and an encounter. So at this point we'll go and choose our house. We have the House of Nargath, which will give us conjuration and intellect. The House Aedor, which will give us charisma and seduction, and the House Jethal, willpower and telepathy. I will be getting the House of Aedor. We also have 2 points which I will be putting in stealth. We can't go up to 3, so 1 here and 1 leadership. And this will make better, even better, some cards we have, like the Farmhands and the Streetwise. No, what card was it? Let's go in our deck and check. This one, Trickery. We need 1 more stealth for it to morph. Okay, so vulnerable. Greed, gluttony. The action gives us retribution, but since none of them attacked, that's not much of a benefit. Let's go with Streetwise. Taunt, he will attack and die from our retribution. He will take the rest of the retribution damage.
Hey, you! Stop!
Attack, get the grid, add it to our silver dagger. Okay, so we can gather some fruits and continue our journey. We are still in Lucina. Let's go for the Magnus Cove. Let's use undermine. We'll now die from the negative status and when an agent attacks, we get crit and weaken.
Hey, you! Stop!
Let's have them this way.
Ready to serve.
Great Gluttony, Silver Dagger, and maybe some Venom. Okay, so let's study the Grimoire. Reinforcements. Add 2 Eager conscripts to our draw pile, and our allies get +2 power. Let's take that. Also bury the corpse and look for tracks. Now hovering here you can see how much each of these cards worth to make a decision based on which would give you the highest profit, and trinkets, higher tier cards will usually cost more. Noble's Finery, Alchemist Bomb Frost. This will be useful in certain occasions. Whenever you apply vulnerable this turn, amplify your slashing. We don't have slashing, so 21 for the vulnerable hits. Gluttony Grid.
Hey, you!
Befriend.
Ready to serve.
So we have 2 attacks here. We regenerate 6 action points per turn, so there is no need to play this card now. Maybe weaken this one a bit.
Ready to serve.
Vulnerable. Now this is a slashing card. After all, we do have slashing cards. So this made this ripple effect right here. Whenever we apply vulnerable, we amplify slashing. Made our champion quite strong. Twenty perk points, 15 XP, that's a nice tone.
This is terrible.
Hey, you! Stop!
Befriend. Seduce and so the lowest amount of enemies will protect you from the various effects getting resisted more frequently, and also inevitable effects will help a lot, and down the road we will be getting fracture and perks that can further reduce the enemy's resistance to our actions. Move to the front. We'll have one attack. This one will die from the venom. Let's streetwise, it's a great card. It gives inevitable vulnerable as part of your starting elf kit. And let's now go for this guy. Try to stun him. Try to taunt him. He's immune to stun and vulnerable anyway, but we can always control him. Switcheroo. We can get Drunken Guard, have him join our deck. and we can get a Mesmerize, have it as well on our deck. We are still in Lucina and now we run out of green areas, meaning that we are forced to up our game and go and do the Forest of Whispers. Enemies are level 2, so nothing too fancy. When we play an ally guard, we get defend.
Hey, you! Stop!
Glancing strike. Unfortunately, we'll get Lament. Will give us fatigue and craft itself. Playful Leap will give us Venom, but also this nice frog right here, which I will use and dispose to get back some action points. Get Rift of Lament.
Ready to serve. Ready to serve.
Let's resist the taunt. So he will turn incorporeal. We broke incorporeal. And
Ready to serve.
now we are an aristocrat. We won't be stealing from common peasants. I control clicked on my allies to discard them. Let's follow the tracks. We have 6. We are ready to level up. We can handle whatever awaits us there.
Ready to serve. Ready to serve.
Flank. Control. Let's use Wild to weaken this one. We'll take a little less damage. We can pass vulnerable. We can add this to our stash. Now that we have action points, we can gather wood. That also gave us a level. We don't feel tired yet. We could skip time, but since we got the level, we can safely continue ahead. We have also 55 perk points, and there are many options to go for now. Let's have a look. We can go with the Vortex Initiate. This not only will boost our control enemy and weaken, but also our summon limit, which is great. Or we can get Danica. Whenever an ally agent attacks this turn, we get farthings and apply weaken. I think I will start with the Vortex Initiate and then also get Danica. And I need to add Danica to my deck and optimize it. This will cut a bit of the chaff. Making sure the cards I want are still in. Blight Frog, immune to Venom and Doom. He's an admirer, not an agent. This one is an agent.
Hey, you! Stop!
So attacking triggers the agent's morale, which gives us some extra gold. And Venom. Okay, let's try to weaken one of them further.
Ready to serve.
We can now befriend this one.
Hey, you! Stop!
And destroy this one. We are losing life for the Venom. We have the Accused Hermit. Let's pick a fight. We'll start with our court affair. We'll go for some vulnerable. Factor poison. Okay, let's go for the heavy hitter. we can control. So we have one agent, two agents, three agents, each of them attacking will make this guy completely harmless. And we can use our greed and gluttony to kill him and execute him. We can pick both cards, they can sell nicely. As you can see, we have 27 days yet to complete the mode. Assuming that, always assuming that we won't die first. He's immune to weaken.
Hey, you! Stop!
Silver. Concealment, flank, harm himself or an ally. This gives us retribution, but since no one will attack, poison then attack. Whenever you apply vulnerable, amplify slashing. Our only slashing card, it's pretty expensive, we can't play it. Destroy will die from negative status and we can pass.
This is terrible.
Ready to serve. Ready to serve. Ready to serve.
So he will get incorporeal. He will use playful leap. He will attack. Broken corporeal. Turn him into an admirer. We can grab some essence and the cloak of the woods. Stas, let's grab the cloak. We are still in Lucina and we can't do anything else here, so our next step now is to travel and we can just go to Oakstead and do the easy quest there as well, and after that the challenge. As you can see, you regenerate 6 action points per turn. That won't ever go up by leveling, only with perks. And that's because of the rules of the mode we are in. Let's control this guy.
Ready to serve. Ready to serve.
These enemies are much weaker because we are in a level 1 zone. We can now befriend up to 13.
Hey, you! Stop!
Now his mind will force us discard, so that's why I played the guard. This amplifies our slashing. We also have amplified piercing.
This is terrible.
Concealment blocked that. Concealment also makes the enemy ignore retribution. They will both attack, and they can deal double damage. So let's
Hey,
get
you! Stop! Hey, you! Stop!
dwarves to attack. Nope. They are all agents. Swap, so we can give some weaken on this guy too.
Ready to serve.
Gluttony greed. Glancing strike. So I don't think there is anything to worry about here. Easy stuff. We did our hard area, which gives us the leeway now.
ready to serve.
Reinforcements, we can get another reinforcements. We can get the Revelry. As a Courtier, we get to draw and Gluttony 4, Loyalty 4, and heal our allies. So that's that. I don't mind now, it's mine. He will harm one of his own.
Hey,
Friend.
stop!
Control. Let's camp. We can rest for 8 hours. That also got us an encounter. Amplify piercing. Attacking will weaken this guy. We don't have a conscript in play. This card upgrades conscript, and that's farmhands, that's will now die from the negative status and will die from the negative status. Let's rest for 4 hours and continue our journey. So farmhand can be upgraded to a guard,
To serve.
like so. And aside from his longer duration, this guy also has the arrest ability, which can give you some extra stunning options. Let's go with Court Affair. Vulnerable won't work, neither bleed, but we can get 2. We can't bewitch him either. We can only stun him. So stun. And we'll be passing. We'll leave the single combat in the end. We'll take the attack.
Ready to serve.
Farmhand. Upgrade to guard. Make admirer. And we completed this area as well. So I will get the woodcutter. He can be useful to gathering wood without doing the activity and wasting time, because we are now at 26 days to complete the mode. And what this means right here is to reach level 15 at the minimum and arrive in Demon's Chasm before this clock runs down, and then do the final gate, which you can, if you play nice, complete at level 15. So at the very minimum, that's what we need to do. We have the wild growth challenge we can do, and then we have to move on. We still don't have any towns we can go and supply, and let's see where next time our trip will take us. I hope you will enjoy this mode. It will arrive in the main game soon, and have a good night.